If you've been anywhere on the internet the past few days, you've probably seen everyone freaking out about this thing called ClawdBot. I've seen Matt Wolf make a video about it, Alex Finn made a video about it, and people are calling it the most powerful AI tool ever. But here's the thing, most of these videos I've seen are either hype or it creates some type of fear. So I figured I'd just create my own video properly so that way you guys can go ahead and make that judgment for yourself. Now in this video, I'm actually going to be covering 4 things. Number 1, what ClawdBot actually is. Number 2, why this matters for you as an actual business owner or builder. Number 3, how to actually set it up step by step. And number 4, practical use cases I'm already using it in, so that way maybe it can help you as well. So what is ClawdBot? In the most simplest terms possible, ClawdBot is basically a software that turns your phone into a direct line to an actual AI agent that can actually do things. So think about it. Normally, when you try to log into ChatGPT or Claude, you're typically going to have to go on a website. You got to type something, then you may get a response back. But that's literally it. It can't read your files. It can't control your computer. It can't send emails on your behalf. ClawdBot is a little bit different. It's basically more of like a gateway that connects to like WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord, iMessage, whatever messaging app that you may use, directly to an actual AI agent that has access to your files, browser control, the ability to run code, voice note transcriptions, and automation capabilities. So basically, you can literally text your AI like you text a friend, and it can actually do things for you. So like a quick example, if I was to text my bot and say, "Hey, can you please check my Slack for any important messages and summarize them?" It can actually do that from my phone while I'm either at the gym, doing grocery shopping, whatever the case is. And that's the unlock currently that ClawdBot is making so much noise for. Now, here's why this matters, right? Because if you're watching this from my channel, you're probably someone who wants to figure out how to leverage AI for a business. You want to figure out how to make more money with AI, right? And you want to figure out how to get your time back. So you're not just sitting here playing around with AI tools. You actually want to use this type of stuff, right? Now, I believe AI agents are the actual future and everyone's talking about it, but most agents right now are trapped inside of a desktop app or they require you to sit at your computer. ClawdBot is basically the thing that is changing that right now. Like right now, your agent can go wherever your phone goes when you're using ClawdBot. And for CEOs and builders, this means you can have AI assistants 24/7 from anywhere. You can build automations that work while you sleep, and you can maybe have multiple agents for different tasks. For that side, like for my business owners, more this means customer support agents are now in your pocket. You have research assistants. You have content creation helpers. You basically you now have a massive advantage that you can basically use, because while everyone else is still using ChatGPT manually, you've got a personal AI assistant that actually takes action on the go. Now, before we actually get into the setup, I do have to give you guys some disclaimers beforehand, as this is super freaking important. So please do not skip this part. Understand that ClawdBot is powerful, but with that much power, it's going to come with some type of risk. Now, here's what you need to understand beforehand is that this AI will basically have access to your files, your terminal, your browser. It can read, write, delete, and execute code. It means that it can have access to your photos, your messages, your emails, your banking information, your passwords. If you set this up wrong, you're basically giving AI the keys to your entire digital life. So here's my strong recommendation. Do not run this on your personal computer. Seriously, do not do it. You've got 2 good options that you guys can use. Option number 1 would be a VPS, which is a virtual private server, where you can get one from Hostinger, AWS, or DigitalOcean for like $5 to $10 a month. AWS does have a free plan, and it's isolated, and it's basically in the cloud. So if anything goes wrong, your personal stuff is safe. Option number 2 would be getting like a Mac Mini or a dedicated machine that you use only for ClawdBot. There should be nothing personal on it. That way, the worst case scenario here is that if AI does something insanely crazy, it's contained and it's not touching, your real important stuff. So again, be careful with what integrations you connect. Every API key you connect, every login you give it, that's what it will have access to, and that's what you're granting it. So I always tell people, start small, test things out, and then actually expand. Okay, cool. So now we're actually going to do a full walkthrough step-by-step tutorial so that I can walk you guys through on how to actually set this up properly. Now, the biggest thing, right, is making sure that you either have a dedicated system for this. If you need to go buy a Mac Mini, go buy a Mac Mini. Am I telling you to do so? No, because I didn't do it. All right. I have a built PC, so I'm not going to go do that. But I did get a VPS, which is just that virtual private server itself that you can use. So I use Hostinger. You guys can get with them. I got the KVM2 for pay about $6.99 a month. Now, once you get everything set up with Hostinger, all you're going to do is go to your actual homepage. You're going to go ahead and then click VPS. You'll probably see it in the main home screen. You're going to go ahead and click manage. And then after that, you're going to open up your terminal. Now, once you're able to get your terminal up and running, it should create another screen for you that will basically tell you to press any key to wake up the server. Now, all you're going to do is literally press any key inside. Now, once we do that, we're going to open up another tab. I'm going to go ahead and type in ClawdBot. Here it is right here. So you can go ahead to go to Claude.bot. They did change their name to MoltBot. I'll get into that maybe in another training and the reason why. But again, you're going to go to Claude.bot. You're going to go ahead and see this URL right here for you to actually copy. Now, depending on where you're at, right? Make sure like if you're on, Windows, and click Windows. If you're not, then make sure you click Mac. All right. But I am on Windows, so I'm going to go ahead and click copy. Now, once I go ahead and click copy, make sure it's on one-liner. I'm going to go back to the VPS terminal, and I'm going to go ahead and just right click, and it's going to basically paste that in for me. It's going to go ahead and click enter, and now it's going to load everything up. Now, while everything is loading, all it's doing is basically just installing this software basically into our actual computer. All right. Now, I already have some of my stuff set up, so I am basically going to start from scratch, basically. Okay, now, so for sanity purposes, for me to actually show you guys from step by step, I'm actually just going to do it from my end. So I'm going to go ahead and install it here by literally just copying and pasting. I'm going to go ahead and click done. And now you're literally going to see ClawdBot installing everything so far. Now, I am going to give it a couple of minutes here for it to actually install. So that way you guys will see the actual finest product. But as is installing ClawdBot, it is basically going to be inputting every single file and basically downloading itself onto my actual computer. Okay, so now it's fully downloaded. So now it's basically having me do almost like an onboarding. So all I'm going to do is go back to the terminal, and I'm going to just basically select these answers here. So follow with me. All right, so I understand this is powerful and inherently risky, which it is. Yes. All right, you're going to do an onboarding mode. We're going to go ahead and just do quick start. You're going to go ahead and then select exactly which model or which provider you basically want to use. So LLM, right? So if you are using ChatGPT, you could use Anthropic. As you see here, you can use Google, Copilot, Versal, so many different others, right? So all you would do is now let's just say I choose Anthropic with with Claude. Now, all I would have to do is basically go ahead and just get the API key for Anthropic. Now, all I'm going to do is go to Google and just type in whatever LLM I'm using. And then after that, type it in API keys. If you're using OpenAI, then you would type in OpenAI API keys. In this case, I'm going to be typing in Claude API key. It's going to bring me to the actual developer platform itself, right? All you're going to do is just go ahead and just go to Claude Developer Platform. It's going to bring you here, and you're going to see all of your API keys. And this is where you would be able to click Create Key. You would go ahead and just select a workspace of where it needs to go inside. So let's just say default. And now I'm going to name the key. So let's just say that we name this one testing, so I can make sure to delete it, testing 27, right? I'm going to go ahead and click Add. After that, it's going to actually generate the key. Boom, copy key. And no, I'm not worried about this key. I'm going to delete this key. All right. Now, once we actually have this key, now the next thing that we would want to do is to actually go back to our terminal here. And then I'm going to go ahead and click enter because I am using Claude. It is going to ask for my actual Anthropic API key. And then I'm going to go ahead and just paste that key here. I'm going to go ahead and click enter right after. And now it's basically asking me to decide on which model I actually want to use. So I am going to use the newest model, right? So I am going to use Anthropic Claude Opus 4.5. So I'm just going to go ahead and just click keep current. Now, after that, it's basically telling me to select my channel. So what select channel just means is how do you actually want to communicate with this bot? Right? How do you want to have a conversation with your AI bot? So these are all the different ways of where you can go. You can do Telegram, you could do WhatsApp, you could do Discord, Google Chat, Slack, Signal, iMessage, everything that you could think of, I feel like is on here that we mainly use. All right. Now, for this case, I am going to skip for now, but in your case, you would go ahead and just select whichever one makes sense to you, and it would give you instructions on how to actually set it up, and then you can go ahead and set it up from there. Now, after that, I am going to skip for now. Now, you can configure skills. All right. The biggest thing when it comes down to skills, I'm going to click yes for right now. All right. Is I would highly recommend operating your node manager skills on NPM. And the biggest thing now is just installing the actual skills dependency to your actual AI, right? So the biggest thing is basically think about it like this: is what do you want it to be able to learn, basically, right? All you're doing is just giving it a skill set for it to quickly adapt to, if that makes sense. The most easiest way possible for me to explain it. So like if I read here, right? Let's just say like, I wanted him to, monitor blogs. All right. So I would just do blog watcher, right? If I wanted, maybe I want him to do something with more editing, right? Cam snap. Maybe I want him to, be able to use Gemini, right? GIFs, right? So like Google Places, right? iMessage. So Nano Banana, if I wanted to create images, right? Obsidian, OpenAI. So like understand like the list can go on and on and on and on and on and on, as you guys can see. Summarize. I wanted to summarize things for me, right? Video frames. So whatever your use case is, you would install those skills. You can also go to a website here, ClawdBot skills, and you would be able to see exactly what type of skills people are actually using inside and how you can actually configure some of these skills as well. All right, whatever it is that's needed for you. Now, I know a lot of people are talking about, hey, like what skills are this? I would highly recommend go ahead and read some Reddits. Go ahead and, look at the actual dev tools that a lot of people are also mentioning as well inside the ClawdBot site. And that way, that will give you more of a better understanding of which skill sets you would actually want to add for your bot. Now, let's just say, again, I'm going to continue for right now. So let's just say I go ahead and just click continue. Literally, it's going to basically install all of these different things for me. All right. Now, after, if for whatever reason, it doesn't, run, as you guys see here, all we got to do is just run ClawdBot Doctor, and it will basically tell us exactly why it's not fully added, and it'll give us more of an insight, right, to actually fix it. Now, it's basically asking me, do I want to set Google API, right, for it to know, the Google Map and Google Places? For all of these, I am going to select no, because if not, it's going to require me to go pull an API key. So I'm going to go ahead and select no for local places. Nano Banana, I'm going to go ahead and select no. For OpenAI Image Gen, I'm going to go ahead and select no. From OpenAI Whisper, no. 11 Labs is powerful too. I literally heard somebody say that one of the plays that they did was they had it set up to where they had their AI bot basically call a restaurant for reservations, and the Open Table, which is the software that you basically use to book your reservations with, was basically, it wasn't working. So the AI bot literally called the restaurant, and it used 11 Labs to have the actual owner of the bot voice on there, and it literally booked a call with AI. Crazy. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do no. Now, for the hooks, I would highly recommend Command Logger. So that way it basically still logs all of those actual commands itself, and then a session memory. So that way it saves that actual memory from that actual session. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and just click spacebar. If you're figuring out how am I clicking this, I'm clicking spacebar to select, and then I'm clicking enter to go ahead and move forward. Now, after that, it's going to install everything on that side, right, wherever the case is. Now, we get done with this piece here. Okay, cool. So once you go through everything, it's basically going to say, congratulations, you have been onboarded. The next thing that you're going to basically see is you may see a dashboard link inside of there for you to basically input inside of your own browser to basically see the actual AI in almost real time. If you don't see it, you can go ahead and just put this code inside of here, ClawdBot space dashboard, and it will basically give you the URL for you to basically copy to your clipboard and open in your browser. Now, this is for one of my bots here. Now, the biggest thing here is like, I'm just showing you guys like some stuff that I was talking about here where, you will be able to see like your previous chats. I'm basically talking to them like, hey, show me what it looks like. And, let's change this. Let's do this. I'm sending them voice notes. Let's, remove this. Now, cool part is you can see the overview overall off of everything, see the snapshot, if it's healthy. You can see the channels that's basically connected with it. So I have Telegram, I got WhatsApp, I got a couple others as well. Different sessions that's currently running as well inside of there. and you can see your cron jobs, right? Think about cron jobs is basically like a scheduler. If I had to put that down into simpler terms, if you've never heard of cron job, it's basically just like an automation that runs at a specific time during a specific session and does it at a specific day, right? So hope that makes sense. And then you can also see all the skills that you may have, right? Inside, your nodes, your configs, your debugs, your logs, like everything basically, right? So this is pretty cool for you guys to basically have. And so this is now the actual dashboard again of your actual bot. Okay, cool. So the biggest thing here, right, is now if you made it this far, then you are literally basically done. Like if you have the channel and everything set up, and if you need to pause this video at any point in time also as well to set everything up, go back and replay it. But the easiest way that I would tell you guys, if you're trying to set up that actual texting channel, I would just use WhatsApp. It's super easy. All you have to do is just scan a QR code. When you scan the QR code, it will connect automatically straight to your actual WhatsApp and you can be able to text from it. Now, I'll show you guys an example. Like if I was to come here on my WhatsApp and just say, hey, how are you, right? Just to get a response, you will see that the bot will actually respond back. The same thing if I set it up on Telegram or iMessage on WhatsApp, because it's connected to my actual account, it's going to send back as me. So I typically recommend maybe setting up a new WhatsApp and having another number if you maybe wanted to have more of that real conversational, feeling where it's like, it's not replying back as you. Same thing with iMessage as well. And so as you see here, it's saying, hey, I'm good. How are you? And even if I go to Telegram, like if I open up Telegram, I brung the bot to Telegram as well. And so I basically said, hey, I didn't get that reminder earlier. And it said, hey, Marine, I don't have a reminder set up for you in my system. And I was like, why is it calling me Marine? I was like, oh, wait, I forgot my actual Telegram name is Marine. So it was reading off my Telegram name. And I said, hey, it's James. And it automatically went back and it said, oh, got it. What reminder were you expecting today? And it said, I've got these reminders scheduled for you. And I was like, oh, snap. Right. And it was crazy just to think that, okay, with that shift of me telling you, hey, my name is James, you remembered everything about James. Right. So that's pretty cool when I was doing that test. So again, if you got this far, then you have made it exactly to where you need it to be at. Now I'm going to break down exactly some use cases on how I'm currently using this, and maybe it can help you as well. All right, so you guys are probably wondering, hey, Jalen, how are you actually using ClawdBot? Well, let me tell you. So one, I use it for our daily business report. So I literally have the actual bot pull everything as far as the daily report, how much money my team collected, as far as how many calls my team has for the day. And basically the biggest thing is like, if I have anybody that tags me in anything, it'll let me know and it'll give me a quick summary of my Slack channel. The second thing is a research assistant. So I can literally put, what are the top AI tools that basically launched today? And it will literally spit that actual answer out. So now while it's sending me back that info, I could focus on something that may be a little bit more productive versus me going out there and researching. The third thing would be more like content creation. So basically I can send voice notes with ideas and my AI turns them into scripts, outlines, or social media posts, or maybe even a Twitter post if I need to in my voice notes, because it knows my style from the Soul MD file, which is absolutely insane. All right. The fourth thing is automation control. So I can literally text my bot right now and say, check my N8N workflows, or what's happening in my Go High Level account. And it can literally go in and actually check it. And the last thing I would say is it has a memory that keeps persisting unlike ChatGPT, where I feel like every conversation starts fresh, or not that I feel like that, I know, right? Where it starts fresh. It's one of those things where I like it because ClawdBot actually remembers everything. Like it writes things down. And when it goes into a next section, it knows exactly what we talked about previously. So look, is ClawdBot overhyped? Maybe a little. Is it a security risk if you set it up wrong? 1,000,000%, which is why we talked about using a VPS or getting an actual dedicated machine. Now, this is really going to be useful mostly for like business owners, operators, especially like builders who want to leverage AI. And I feel like 100% this is the direction of where everything is basically going with AI. Like AI agents can now literally just do things and not just chat. The people I feel like who learned this stuff early are going to be super far ahead more than most. And so if you found this helpful, if you found this insightful, drop an actual like, leave a comment if you guys have questions, and subscribe if you haven't already, as I'm going to be making more content, bringing down more AI tools and how to actually use them for business or personal. So if you want to go deeper on AI and automation, go ahead and check out our free community as well, as the link is in the actual description. Cheers.